Howdy, Hillbilly Nation. This is American Hillbilly. Man, good to see y'all on a Friday night. My goodness. Yeah, Gizzard and the hens were out of town, and so nobody was covering this spot. So I thought, well, doggone it, let's just come over and visit for a little while. And just got off the Georgia Shooting Connection show. Always a blast there. And so sorry it took me a few minutes to get over here and get everything all set up and going, but we made it. So, oh man, good to see y'all out there. And we have some awesome people in the green room. So without any further delay, let's go ahead and bring these folks out. There's Mr. DJ Play Nice, the voice of YouTube. How you doing, brother?
No, I'm doing great, man. It's cool to be on a Friday show again. I'm enjoying myself already. Thanks.
Well, good to have you here, brother. Oh man, a lot of great people out there on the side chat already. And if we didn't say hi to you in the side chat, saying howdy now. Good to see y'all out there. And up next, we have somewhere from a unstated location. And a bunker. We have Pat in the bunker. How you doing tonight, Pat?
While the hens are away, the hillbilly and the contingencies will play. I'm doing good, brother. I am doing good. How's Hillbilly and how is DJ Rock?
Doing good, buddy. Doing good. Yep. We got some storms rolling through here right now, but hopefully the internet connection will hold and we'll be good to go. And yeah, I was looking at outside cameras just a minute ago, and animals, like there's no animals out there or whatever, except for a coon. Coons just don't really give a crap, man. They're like lightning, thunder, rain. They're like, yeah, I'm still gonna sit here and eat, and it don't bother me one bit.
Agreed.
Well,
Agreed.
Good to have you on here, buddy.
Awesome.
And
thanks for having me on tonight.
You betcha. And also in the green room, we have the leather master himself, Mr. Mark Thomas. How you doing, Mark?
Doing good. Can you hear me all right?
Yeah, we can hear you loud and clear, brother.
All right. I didn't really check my mic before I got in. I just wanted to come over for a little bit after Georgia and make sure you had a few people here. Just nice to see everybody before I fall asleep tonight. I'll spend a couple of minutes.
Nap.
Yep. I'll at least stop in. I don't know how long I'll stay, but just a little bit of time.
Well, sure appreciate you coming over, buddy.
Thanks.
And so DJ, would you like to call out everybody that's out in the side chat? And Pat, what would you like for them to type in, buddy?
Let's see. Let's type in take over. Take over.
What was that?
All one word. Take over.
Oh, take over.
Yeah,
take over. No, I got it.
Yeah, take over.
I thought you were saying bake over. And I was like,
well, if it was wintertime, yes, on the wood stove, sure.
Yeah, the Guns water put out there 8 over.
There we go. Fluffy's got it right.
Fluffy got it. So type in takeover and the voice of YouTube will call your name out on the TV, like Jamie says.
Oh, that's it. Got Guns and Water out there. Jacob S., Dale Pogue, Now I'm gonna like start this list over and just hit the people that I know because like I'm seeing different spellings for takeover and whatnot. So Colt 1927 is out there early. So is Ron 28 Matters. Mr. Bob Dobalina's out there. Alaska One Andy as well. Guns websites Jacob S. Garage Guy 879. Guns and Water. Dale Pogue's out there. Woods is out there. So is the fluffy 10mm Jeep guy. Guns and Barbecue. He's out there as well. Now it's gonna be like making it up and figuring out who I missed. Boomstick Mark 5. Nice to see you out there.
Yeah.
I think that catches everybody. If I missed anybody, I do apologize. I'll go back through and catch you by the end. That's your roll call.
Well, good to have everybody out here, and I sure appreciate it. Each and every one of you. And as usual, we will do a giveaway. And I think it'd be appropriate tonight, since we discontinued the skinny black knife, and then GIZZ has brought it back on his channel. I think like it's a choice on his channel, or maybe it's his members channel. I don't know, but he's bringing back the option of getting a skinny black knife. So we're going to do 2 giveaways tonight. One's going to be for a skinny black knife, and the other one's going to be for a $10 Chick-fil-A gift card. So how's that sound? And we'll put the hashtag out there. See, I had it. Where'd it go? Oh, there it is. Sorry. I had it in the wrong spot. So for the hashtag tonight, type in hashtag GIZZ. And that'll get you entered in tonight's contest. And oh my goodness, yeah, we just had a good time coming off Georgia's shooting connection. Always a blast over there. And we got Justin Graham. Hey, buddy, how you doing? And yeah, and if there's somebody out there we missed on the roll call, let us know. And but there's Guns and Barbecue. And look who come in the back door right here. We have Mr. Justin Graham. How you doing tonight, Justin?
Oh, pretty good. Sorry, I'm a little late. My email's been acting up, and it went to my junk instead of to me.
And it probably didn't help that the first email I sent out, I forgot to put the link to the show, so I had to send out another one. DJ texted me, he's like, open the email, there's no link. And I'm like, well, that's no good. So
Well, it's been a pretty high degree of distraction. I mean, last week was a big show. The run up to that, 3 weeks before that happened. You need a couple of days off during the week, and you don't really get that anytime that I've heard about. So, running headlong into a Friday when you're not expecting to do a takeover, and here comes a takeover, and you decide to jump in on it. That's great, man. I like channels that'll go in and do a takeover like that. Seen Foss do it for this channel as well, and Guns and Barbecue has been known to do that. Host somebody as a takeover. That's cool.
Well, I mean, if anybody that's ever raced, that's just how it is. You're always just out of control, putting a foot down here and there, and so anyway, that's kind of how my life goes. So anyway,
great to see you, Justin Graham.
Lead Mining 44 out there too.
Hey, there's Lead Mining 44.
Oh, right. Good to see you. And also we have somebody else come in the back door. We got Guns and Barbecue. How you doing this evening, brother?
Oh, he disappeared already.
In and out.
Oh, we lost him.
He's got that world famous Northern Pennsylvania internet.
Right.
Got Chris from the 740 just jumped in the room saying good evening to everyone. Hey, Chris.
Yeah, there's a guy I haven't talked to in a while.
Oh, yeah. Let's see.
Anyway, how's Justin tonight?
Not too bad. Had a pretty good day. Took most of it off, so can't complain.
Huh? Can't beat that then. Get propped up here. Sorry, I'm waiting for my computer to reboot. It decided it did not want to comply tonight, so that's why I'm on the phone.
So, Jay Grimm, how do you feel about taking on being the bacon pivot for everyone and their ridiculous fantasies about getting it cheap? It's something that I think it's going to stick to you forever, man. I think it's going to stick.
I'm a bacon pimp now.
Nice. Pimping the pork.
But in this case, pimping is easy, man. It sells itself.
No kidding. That's the best thing to sell. Something will just sell itself, and we'll
and it's
see.
Legal.
We'll see Justin start a new YouTube channel called the Bacon King or something. You're competing with the Lion King or the Tiger King. Yeah.
I'd watch the Bacon King before Tiger King.
Definitely.
Because I want to eat it. It doesn't want to eat me.
And has there been anything left of that story? The tiger guy that was so popular a couple, 3 years back, whenever that was, that was spun off a couple of catchphrases, whatever his ex's name was. I can't even recall now, but has there been an update on that guy? Anybody know?
I think he's still behind bars.
I think he's in prison.
Oh, was he? All right. Then.
I knew he was trying to get Trump to pardon him on the way out, and I don't think that ever happened. But I think so. And what's really so funny about that show is, like, all across the United States, we just everybody just takes a vacation, and everybody's like, oh, we're doing this, and this, and what's on TV or whatever. And somebody's like, that's one thing about social media, they're like, hey, I watched a show called The Tiger King, and or whatever. Yeah. And then it hit social media, and then everybody was watching it, so it was just set up for like the perfect storm,
Agreed.
No doubt. I heard about it through word of mouth, and it was so far into that whole situation that I think that there's like 2 seasons that they covered him, but I jumped in like the tail end of the first season, didn't have an opportunity to roll back and wasn't all that interested, but eventually I did watch all of them, pretty much on fast forward to get to the good spots sort of thing. And 2 Live Moo is ringing in my head. Now I remember what the wife's name is. Carol Baskin. You guys remember that? Carol Baskin. Oh man, the things that pop culture brings us.
Yeah, more like Carol Basket Case.
Oh man, yeah, that was quite the deal. He's always carrying a 6-shooter, and a holster, through all that, and oh man. I mean, I guess it was just, some form of entertainment for everybody at the time, because.
Well, and was that park, or whatever you want to call it, was that like Florida? It was somewhere in the South, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was Florida, I'm pretty sure. I know Carol Baskin was in Florida, and I think all of it was in Florida.
Well, Florida is one of those states where that kind of stuff would just blend into the background like nothing's happening here. Move along.
Right.
DJ's throwing you under the bus there. Or, I mean, Gunny Barkley's throwing the bus there, DJ.
Is he?
Yeah. That's hilarious.
Oh, right on.
So, we had G-Webs have a question up here a while back. See if I can find it. Oh, here it is. Okay. He says, question, has there been any live coverage from Goals? The only thing I seen was John Crump did like a little video live there, but it was just him and Rich and a couple other guys, sitting on the couch. It wasn't like on the floor or anything, that they were just, talking about it. And but that's about all I've seen so far.
I haven't seen
Anybody
anything
else?
live, but I sure did get peppered with stuff in the shorts. Now don't take that the wrong way. I saw a lot of shorts on reels rolling by. If I had wanted to take to spend the time to take a look at them, and I go over to Clovertack's channel like once in a while, kind of thing. Like when he and Ghost do the thing and it goes live, I get a notification, so I'll swing by and see what their topic might be. But short after short after short coming out of Clovertack, so it's kind of fitting, right? But it was Arimathea is his wife that was doing a lot of the shooting there, and he was doing the camera work. So they apparently had some really cool stuff to shoot out there. I saw Tony Simon, like a champ running a mag auto through something or other, and it's like, go buddy. So there's people that are definitely covering it. But yeah, that live thing would be interesting. I just didn't get any notifications from any of the channels that I'm subbed to.
Well, awesome. Chris from 740 said, just subbed your 158th new channel. Boom. That's about true. If somebody out there with a ranch wouldn't mind throwing out a Boomstick Mark 5 link, guys, go and subscribe to the guy. Always has some great stuff, great videos, and YouTube just keeps coming after him, shutting his channel down. And personally, I don't understand why, because he's literally sitting there shooting targets. And
Right.
there it is. Thank you, DJ. So go over and subscribe, and we'll see how long. Hopefully, this channel will stick. And won't get in any trouble. And
if there's anybody from our group or anything that has had more of a hard time than him, I would challenge anybody to put up his record versus anybody else's record. And he's just shooting at targets. Come on, leave him alone. He's a good guy. Man.
That is truly a record that nobody wants to try and beat, though, man.
Exactly.
I think that record might stay intact. The Mark V version of that might actually turn into a Mark 6, Mark 7, Mark 8. We don't know what iteration it's going to be in by the end of the year, kind of thing. But yeah, I got that link out there. Got a couple new people out there in the chat as well, including Bubba Triclops Ballistic. I want to say hey to him, and Chad Kelly. Chad is able to drop in almost every evening doing something after he's done 6 or 7 or 8 something else's on his way to do something like getting dinner before he has to hit the rack and then be back up to do it again. Competition stuff and everything else he's doing. That's it's a channel that I've seen growing over the past year. It's like, go Chad, go buddy. Like to see that.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and Bubba says Walter VO, he's running a close second, or running close, and which I think Walter's on his second channel or third. Well, he's got put in jail a few times, YouTube jail, and then CW, yeah, he had to start his channel over too, didn't he, Mark?
Yep,
I think he did. And
It looks like
really.
I think the problem
Go
is
ahead.
when Boomstick gets on the camera and shows his face. That's whenever they really.
well. from his last post in the side chat, he's starting an OnlyFans.
Oh, I will not post the link to that.
Dana, a lesbian from Istanbul. Hey, if you start making money, let us all know.
Boomstick, brother, I love you. I'm not being mean. I think what they're doing to you is a bunch of shit, but
man,
what can we do?
He's lying. He's lying. Mark had the idea of doing the calendar for this Christmas.
I cannot understand for the life of me why I can do, the videos that I do. There's nothing in what I do that should ever be anything anywhere near against any policies. But Boomstick puts up a video, every week, and they hammer the shit out of it. It's fucking ridiculous. Just,
yeah,
I don't know. I can't
He's
understand
never
why.
he's never trying to sell anything, and that's what they always like. Which I mean, the deal's so broad,
Yeah.
but a lot of times it's like, well, when you break policies, you're probably trying to link or sell something, and that's not, the case. And
Yeah, the only thing I can think of is when he tries to show his face, and that's when they get him.
Oh,
Is it one?
man.
Is it one of those deals? It's like I'm too sexy for my shit. Sorry, I couldn't
Yeah, I
help it,
mean,
brother. Had to do it.
yeah, he don't even curse like Cyclops Joe does.
No, not even
I don't
close.
think anybody cusses like Cyclops Joe. Oh.
Yeah, that's
I'll tell you what, I'm going to have to check out. I was only stopping in for a little bit. I'm going to make sure I get to bed before 11 o'clock because I got to get up early. I'm going to do a long bike ride tomorrow. So good night, all. Hope you have a great weekend. Take care. Thanks.
Go easy, man.
Mark,
All right.
thanks a lot, buddy. Have a safe trip and enjoy school next week, buddy.
Thank you.
All right,
You
have a good one, Mark.
buddy. Thank you.
Hey, thanks again for the holster, buddy. I appreciate it.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, it really aggravates me, just like like we were talking about Boom. I mean, puts out good video, just nice steady videos. They're always fun to watch. And, and then it seems like once you get under that microscope, you can't do anything right. And doggone it, it's aggravating.
Well, do you think it is a case of once you're on the radar sort of thing that it isn't sometimes when the algorithm's going out and looking for you necessarily, but once it finds you, you're not going to be off that list. They're going to hound you, kind of like that dog in the background, right?
Yeah, sorry, it's me.
No, I'd love to say I hear the sound of a dog barking. I don't have one myself, so I like to hear it. I think pets should be allowed on every YouTube channel. I think GWebs would agree. As a matter of fact, I probably picked up that line from him. You're not a real YouTuber if you don't have dogs on your channel or something.
Yeah. And hey, we got barbecue back. Hey, buddy.
Sorry about that. I had to get my phone plugged in. It died, and I was like, crap. But I've been listening the last couple minutes, and no, it's not a matter of, oh, they got you once, because I've been gotten a couple times, and I mean, that's over 4.5 years now. And the first time I had done a video on how to assemble an AR lower, video was doing great until it got hit. And people will like that will get hit for something similar. Well, this channel does it or that channel does it. Well, it doesn't matter. It's still wrong to punch somebody in third grade and to say, well, so and so did it. What you're still gonna get your pee slapped. Sorry. Then even now, I just got dinged 2-3 weeks ago. They said that I was trying to sell something. I don't remember what the heck it was exactly. It's something along those lines, selling something or something like that. And the only thing I can think of is I had put Tamarack Armory's link in the description. But here's the thing: if it was like, oh, they're looking to get rid of gun channels, and once they key in on you, you're toast. My channel would already be gone, because I've got 300 episodes of Amphi where I link to Tamarack Armory.
Oh yeah, I drop those links at the end of every show. You're right, man. You're right, but like
they could go and give me 3 channel strikes all at once, and boom, my channel's gone. But that hasn't happened.
And so this most recent one you say was because of maybe a link, just like the old days?
Well, I just said I was trying to sell something. I didn't watch the whole video. I really didn't care. Because it's not the end of the world. And sometimes it's just something completely innocent that you don't realize. Like in this video with where they put the timing mark, which from what I understand is not accurate at all. You know, it could be anywhere in the video. It's just, you know, that's where they mark it. But right at that point also, I did say in the video, like, hey, you know, due to YouTube policy, I can't show how to put this part on or something like that. And then, you know, I go on to say, you know, however, if you need to be shown how to use a screwdriver, because that's all I was doing was using a screwdriver. You know, if you need to be shown how to use a screwdriver, you probably should not be working on your own firearms, and you should take them to a professional, which that in itself could be construed as, you know, selling something, you know, telling people you go to a gunsmith. Now, I think that would be pretty loose and flimsy, but, you know, if somebody's reporting that and then you get the person at YouTube that reviews the report and goes, oh, yep, nailed. And then, you know, yeah, you can go and appeal or whatever, but, you know, again, it's a crapshoot. Do you get the appeal where somebody actually looks at it, or is it just, you know, automated? And then on top of that, even if somebody does look at it, do you get somebody that is open-minded and who is going to really look at it, or are they closed-minded, have a bias, and just going to go, nope, I see a gun?
Yeah, Jacob S. Hillbilly just had that comment. Jacob S.'s last one saying the ways of the tube shall never be known. And you know what? If YouTube made things a lot clearer or clear at all in some regards, there'd be less reason to be chasing after anybody. There'd be fewer questions when it comes to content creators, and you know there might be a slip here and there kind of thing. But having zero, really kind of a zero chance of surviving some of those situations, I wish it didn't exist for everybody. And I do hear it coming from other quarters. It isn't just gun folks. It's in some of the other ones too. Go ahead.
That, I mean, the guidelines and policy crap, it's pretty black and white. I wouldn't say that there's a whole lot of gray in there. I mean, it says what it says. It's easy to understand. Where it gets muddied is when they are like, so I do a video on how to install a scope. Get dinged for that. Palmetto State Armory just put out that same video 2-3 days ago. Now, why is it okay for? But then the problem is people don't read policy, guideline, and all that. They're starting a channel, or they've had a channel, but they're small and all that fun jazz, and they're like, oh, you know what? I think this would be a good video. I'm putting a scope on my rifle today. I'll make a video on it, and they go and do it, and then it could be up for a year even, but then something happens with the algorithm, or the wrong person stumbled upon it and dinged you, whatever the case might be. And like I said, and that's why I used that example at the beginning of too many people just sit there and go, oh, well, so and so did it. Well, so and so's got 5 million, 10 million subscribers, whatever the heck it is, doesn't matter. And that's where, like I said, the waters are muddied because they allow those larger entities to do it.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm with you on the ignorance is no excuse. I mean, people not reading TOS, that happens every day with things. I guess, I would like to say that a lot of people don't realize that they are the ones that are signing away a lot of their rights to privacy by hitting TOS all the time. Like, it's kind of unavoidable. There are ways to.
If you don't, you can't use a lot of services then.
Or you have to get the workaround that takes a lot more effort and energy. Go ahead.
Yeah. I was going to say, it's either you agree or you're SOL. I admit, I have not gone like super in-depth into the policies and guidelines, all that fun crap like Clover has. Like the things I get dinged on, I'll then read. Well, I shouldn't say read, because you can actually go to the hyperlinks for YouTube, and they have videos on the policy and guidelines where you can just listen to them tell you about it, which is kind of nice, for me. And I'll listen to those and be like, and then I'll go, oh, okay, well, I got nailed for this, and I understand why. And like, there's times where, I just don't care. I'll make a video and I say, screw it. Either I'm going to get dinged on this or I'm not, whatever. For me, it's not the end of the world.
I like what Woods is kind of saying out there. Go ahead,
let me ask you a second. When you say ding, does that mean like you can't do a video, you can't stream, you're shut down for so long?
Well, normally,
or you just get a yellow?
There's a big difference. I'm pretty sure my channel is always on a permanent yellow.
Okay.
So then if I do get
that means it can't be monetized.
But no.
When you get a strike,
I'm not monetized anyways. I could have monetized my channel 3 years ago. I have no interest in making money off my channel.
So
I don't
when they give you they're saying that you cannot monetize that video. And see, a lot of people get that.
They don't even show me anything for monetization.
Yeah, it's totally different than actually getting a strike. And so when you get a strike, you can't do any YouTube, none whatsoever.
That's what I'm talking about, is getting strikes. I'm not talking about monetization.
Oh, okay.
So like I said, my channel's not monetized at all. I never applied for it.
You get 3 strikes, your channel's taken down, and so
that's what I'm saying.
Okay, that's what I was asking.
That's why I said, like, YouTube could go to my channel right now, look at any 3 episodes from Amphi, and go, oh, here's a link to a gun shop. Here's a link to a gun shop. Here's a link to a gun shop. That's 3 strikes. My channel is gone overnight.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't even know what happened.
Yeah.
They might have even come after me as an accomplice. I was the one who put the links in there after all. I'd stand before the man, he's like, yes, I did it proudly. I like what Woods had out there as a point, kind of talking about statute of limitations on things. I've sort of lost the comment that he had. Maybe you can dig it out, Hillbilly, but having a limit on how far they can go back. And barbecue's example, that's a perfect one. And I remember grandfather, there you go. Or just like those have to be removed. Anything before this date, if the transgression exists, then it's gone. I think a lot of people will be better able to deal with that. I think a lot of creators don't know to have their programs ready to go or have moved them over to other sites, though. So I think that'd be another thing that starts to come up is, oh man, I lost 6 years worth of programming. It's like, well, maybe that's a word to the wise now. Get your program, DL'd wherever you need to, hosted somewhere so that it's out there. And another thing that I always recommend, I don't want to get too far afield from the discussion, but that is register your name across every new social media form that pops up. People have heard me harp on it before. It's like, don't get left in the dark. Don't be making, Mark 5, 6, 7, and 8. Get some unique ones, and you'll at least be able to drive your regular traffic to that channel. Others have done it.
Yeah. And so Pat and Justin, you guys haven't got to say anything. Anything you guys like to share about like this or whatever, and we'll move on to something else.
If you want my opinion on this, like, I'm brand new, really don't have anything really to lose right now. But my total thought on this, like you were saying, grandfathered, I think that obviously times change, things move on. They need to take different steps, let's say, into the future, not a problem. But I think anything that was made underneath the guidelines that you had set at that time under those terms of service should be grandfathered in. And then anything going, we're going to give you let's say a date. Let's say next June 1st, we're going to be changing, and anything after June 1st, if you don't abide by our new terms of service, well, then I guess, it's their platform. You got to play by the rules. That's one thing. Yeah. But for them to be able to go back 2, 3, 4 years just to trump up a charge on somebody for something that doesn't meet the current terms, that's some BS right there. That they shouldn't be able to. They shouldn't be able to do that. You should that stuff should be. It was made underneath those guidelines. We, went with your guidelines. They shouldn't be able to go back and close your channel down because the amount of work that would make people have to go back and do to fix and do all the changes. Well, and basically it is forcing people to pull stuff down. I mean, let's just be honest. That's what they're trying to do, but I don't think they should be able to do that.
Well,
That's
yeah,
my 2 cents.
A couple of years ago, Never Enough Ammo. I forget what the policy change was that was made, but there was a live show where Never Enough Ammo just sat there. I mean, he was really depressed about it and everything, and he's just deleting videos. And he's like, there goes 7 years of my life, because he's having to delete so many things. So, he wouldn't get his channel deleted in the end. And, this retroactive stuff, like it's ridiculous. But I hate hearing it's their playground, their rules. I cannot remember what because there's a law out there, 2230 or something. I don't remember exactly what the number is of it, but it actually says that things like YouTube, Facebook, etc., they need to decide whether they are a platform or a publisher. So if they want to be a publisher, then that gives them the right to go and delete a bunch of videos, monitor, what is going to be on their, platform, or are they publishing it? Because if they're a publisher, then they can be sued. If they're a platform, they're supposed to just let whatever go, and they cannot be sued. So if somebody wants to spew a bunch of hate speech or something, as disgusting as it might be, they cannot be sued for it. However, if they were a publisher and allowed it, and then something happened, then they could be held liable and be sued. So this idea of, their playground, their rules is crap. They need to decide, are they a platform or are they a publisher?
I agree on that totally, because they're getting the best of both worlds.
Yeah, because they can. Yeah. With the way they play it right now, they say that they're a platform, so they can't be sued. But then, they say, "Oh, you can't have this, that, this, or this," because feelings.
And there's nothing in section. You were close. It's section 230. There's nothing in section 230 that says platform at all. Which is one of those things. It's like that creates a total red herring, because there is that discussion. It continues, and YouTube allows it to persist, but they slid in underneath that. So it's like that's another thing. It behooves everybody to read like the terms of service, for YouTube or any other thing you're going through. And another example now is section 230. I mean, I've heard intelligent conversations. I'm not saying I was part of them, but I've heard intelligent conversations about this that ends up in nothing but hair pulling. And it's another one of those things that ends up being a YouTube mystery. So, burr under somebody's saddle for sure.
Didn't Zuckerberg go through this, like even in front of the Senate committee here a while back, about how he's wanting to file one way, but then he was doing something else or something, and like the Senate's like, you can't do both.
Yeah, it was something similar underneath that guise. But I honestly, I think if everybody, and this is just my opinion, so take it for what it's worth, but I think if everybody operated like it was underneath of the Constitution, like your right to free speech, and everything underneath what this country stands for, everything that we have talked about, whether it be First Amendment, Second Amendment, 13th, 14th, it doesn't matter. It should be let onto YouTube, because that is a part of America, especially since we're all operating inside of America. Whatever they do outside of it, that's however those governments work.
Yeah.
But
I think
honestly, that's just the way I think it should work.
I believe
that's just my opinion.
lot of the main thing is their advertisement. So if some company from another country wants to advertise and they don't agree with like certain stuff that America does, then they can say, I don't want this. But real quick, we had some more people jump in out here. I don't know if you hollered out Jacob S, but he's out there. We got Hasbro's jumped in. We got Thorzak's and Tennessee Goddess over on the Rumble side. And we got that bearded and tattooed guy. And we just had Defense guy jump in too. And so welcome everybody. I hope I didn't miss you. If we missed you, let us know. We appreciate everybody being out there. And for the giveaway tonight, type in #Gizzard. That way, because this is a Gizzard Gary takeover show. And anyway, so get that out there and see what else we got here. Let's see. Okay. Oh, and tonight's giveaways, we're going to do actually 2 of them. We'll spin one. The first person gets to pick if they want a skinny black knife or a $10 Chick-fil-A gift card, and then the second person, they just get what's left. So I figured that would be, something good for tonight since Gizzard always gives away Chick-fil-A. And, since he's gone, I don't know if you guys seen the thumbnail, but instead of the chicken being in the GGs, I put a bucket of fried chicken. So I was like, well.
Yeah, I've seen that. The fried chicken, the gizzards is cooked.
But who knows? Maybe Gizzard might jump on and give us an update from goals here after a bit, because him and the hens.
That'd be awesome.
I'm sure they're having stuff going on down there, and got schedules. So totally understand all that.
Well, they're probably taping Rich White to a chair right now, making him listen to Ice Ice Baby.
That's true. They did say they were going to do that.
Down.
And
pulling out Q-tips, making sure his ears are extra clean. Make sure there's nothing obstructing the
Full
sound
spectrum.
waves.
And also, I want to let everybody know, since Gizzard does the Gorn, you can send your Gorn to AmericanHillbillyUp@gmail.com. And please make sure that if it's a firearm, it's not in your hand, because the platform does not like that. And if you send some memes, try to at least make sure they're kind of family friendly, appropriate, and so, but anyway, you guys can send those at AmericanHillbillyUp@gmail, and we'll honor Gizzard by doing that, because that's something he does every Friday night. And we'll get to that here in just a little bit. And see, let's see. We got I thought this might be a fun topic. I don't know. I would personally like to see it. But also another topic, and we kind of go through the room here, because also I need to run and grab my little notebook to write the winners down in. But we'll start off with you, DJ. And please side chat, throw in what you think, and if you'd like to see one. Do you think sometime in the future, the person will come out with the Glock Gen 3, we see a lot of different, clones come out, and, maybe different thicknesses on the grips, or, whatever the case might be. But a lot of stuff interchanges, and they're basically just a Glock clone. You ever think that somebody would come out with that pretty much same version, but put a safety on it of some sort? And is that something you would like to see or not? I mean, some people, they're like, hey, my everyday carry, I don't want a safety on it. Some people's like, I would like to, I will only carry one if it does have a safety. So I know there's we're not going to go over that, like which one's better. But is that something that somebody that you think they'll come out with maybe in the future, or is it something you personally would like to see or not?
Well, some already have, and me personally, I would rather have it the manufacturer give me the option for having a safety delete, or the other way around, safety addition. That wouldn't be so bad. Nobody liked the Smith & Wessons that got the Hillary hole. Everybody, like universally, that's a bad idea, except to everybody but politicians and people who are not that cool with firearms. And there is going to be, if someone hasn't been trying to build a better mousetrap, someone tomorrow is going to start one. So will it be a proliferation of them? I don't think so. I think that would have been something that would have had a lot of growth, or at least a lot more discussion farther afield than these chats, because of all the NGOs, if there were that many NGOs in the last couple of years. So having a variety is what a lot of places are about. But you mentioned Glock to start it off. Hey, they stick to their formula. They stay in their lane. They don't have to change for anybody. The minor change differences that there are between generations, that's pretty much it. They know what they're doing, and that's the way they want to get it done. And nobody seems to complain all that much about it. And I'm not a Glock guy, so I just kind of complain in general about those things. But that's what I got to add to it. And other guys on the panel are going to have a more well-formed opinion than that, I am sure. Who's up?
Let's go with Justin next.
I'm going to go with a big no. Keep your finger off the trigger or shoot yourself like a real man. That would be my response. Here, I'll even turn the camera on. Shoot yourself like a real man. I mean, come on. No, you don't need a safety on that style of gun, I don't think. I mean, keep your finger off the trigger. You'll be good. Reholster your gun. Look down. Look in it. Make sure there's nothing getting in there. Keep your gun in a holster. Don't just flop it in a purse. I mean, God made the smart ones live and the stupid ones die, so we'll just roll with that. That's how I feel. Yeah, but you got like the Smith & Wessons where they have the guns without them, and then they offer the guns kind of with them. But I just really don't think there's a need.
Yeah. And yeah, Bubba, as soon as he says, he had his opinion there, but with the clones, we've seen a lot of them come out with the clones that are very similar, but has different modifications on them. Such as like the dagger, for instance, or I think Bear Creek, they're just coming out with their what is it, Grizzly or whatever, and so.
Did I read that right? Was that bikini carry?
What's that say?
Yeah. No bikini carry, Vanessa said.
Nice.
So,
Well, if you can get it rigged, I'm sure that that'd be a popular item.
I mean,
Hey,
I'm not taking it that far. I mean,
Well,
just saying.
I have a story, but I'll just wait my turn.
I only appendix carry if I'm wearing my Speedo.
Oosh. Well, plenty of room.
So,
That's why I
barbecue.
carry 44 mag.
Yeah. Your thoughts on this, and we'll jump on over to Pat.
He's got an 8-inch barrel.
Are you just happy
Snubby.
to see me, or does your
Hey, I give you
44 mag
credit.
have
I
an
said
8-inch barrel?
I said
It's
8.
the barrel, sweetheart. Sorry. That girthy feel, that's just barrel shroud. Don't
Yeah,
mean to get you
right.
excited.
Okay.
But no, I mean, as far as the Glocks and the the clones and everything, part of the reason you see so many Gen 3 clones is because that is on the California roster, and then Glock never paid to have another gun after the Gen 3 on the roster. And that's why the Gen 3 is so prolific, because if they want to sell guns in California, they've got to, again, keep making the Gen 3, or they're going to have to pay, I think it's $150,000 per model and submodel to get that gun onto the roster, which is absolutely ridiculous. So with that, everybody makes the Gen 3 because it's the most prolific. But with that, I mean, if you're going to make a clone, I think a lot of people would scoff at the idea of having a manual safety on it. Because again, it's supposed to be a clone. You go and put a manual safety on it, and it's not. That was one of the things about the Glock was there is no safety. I mean, there is, and that's something else that people need to realize and be educated on. Things like that is one. There's the dingus on the trigger that acts as a safety. There's a firing pin block that is another safety, and then trigger discipline. You got three safeties there. So the idea that modern guns that don't have safeties are unsafe, well, a lot of people just don't realize there's actually multiple safeties built into the firearm already. You don't necessarily need a manual safety. Just practice and
I mean,
take
everybody's going
care.
to have their own opinion on safety or not. I mean,
Yep.
that's, definitely. And I think, that's like a whole nother, probably a very long, deal, where everybody's opinion on that. But I just didn't know,
I was
like,
just mentioning. Oh, go ahead.
if you think the one would come out and,
No. Again, because one, so do you make it slide mounted or frame mounted? If you mount it to the frame, do you have to severely modify the frame? You're adding parts, which takes away from the simplicity of a Glock. If you add it to the slide, do you have to change any of those internals? So again, that severely hampers the idea of a clone. So no, I don't think we'd ever see it.
okay. And I want to say hi to Scotsman. He just jumped on. Hey, buddy,
Once
how
I
you
said
doing?
that, there's probably something out there that has it.
What's going on, fellas?
Not much. You doing all right?
Doing all right, man. Let me just say this as far as safeties go. You are the safety. You are the number one thing as safety. There is nothing else that matters. Doesn't matter what mechanical aspect is on the firearm. You are the safety. You make the decision when to pull that trigger.
Yeah, definitely. I agree on that.
Yep.
I just know when we've talked about a few times like this in the past, certain situations. Some people say, well, if I'm carrying here, say, where I'm at home or whatever case might be, around, kids, grandkids, whatever case might be, we carry something with a safety on it. Whereas if they're out doing other stuff and that options is not there, then they would carry without a safety. And, so I think there's different scenarios that people think about. But when it all comes down to it, yes, you are correctly right. That you are, the actual safety that counts,
So,
And-
so I would say with that one. So let's just take for example. I'm not big on IWB, so inside the waistband carry. I'm not big on that. I never have been. And part of the reason I've never been big on that is my frame, how I'm set up. And you have to figure out what works for you as far as carry. Now, in the last year or so, yes, I've carried a lot inside the waistband. I found a company that makes a decent holster that works well for me. And there are so many people out there that go, well, I don't want to shoot my junk off. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. It all comes down to you on when you're drawing and paying attention to how you're drawing, everything that you do. So when we talk about being safe, when we talk about all this kind of things, it literally comes down to you. You have to pay attention to everything you are doing. And the more you train, the more effort and time you put in is going to make the difference. Because you got to get that memory down. And that memory will kick in. So practice, 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 practice. And just don't be scared about it. When I first started carrying years and years and years ago, the way I did it was I didn't have any ammunition in the gun when I first started carrying. I carried an empty gun. And I carried an empty gun because I didn't know what I was doing. And I wanted to be safe about what I was doing. And it might sound stupid to some people out there, but when you come from a culture where you're not allowed to do so to a culture where you are, I went the route that I felt was the safest way to do it. So I said, okay, I want to get comfortable. I want to get comfortable having the weight on my body. I want to get comfortable having this in the position. I want to get comfortable being able to draw this from this position. And then we went from there. And it probably was only maybe a month, 6 weeks before I had that thing fully loaded around the chamber and going to town. It wasn't long, but you have to figure out a way to get yourself where you're comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
But you are the number one safety, period.
So I want to go back on what you were saying about the practicing inside the waistband. I'm assuming you're talking about appendix since you mentioned, shooting your junk off. And people also got to realize though, when you're in a high stress situation, your fine motor skills reduce greatly. I know, for example, you could be the top shooter for the Pennsylvania State Police, and you will have in a firefight, your accuracy will drop to 70%. To be that good of a shooter for the Pennsylvania State Police, like you're putting in some work. You're not just, going out shooting a couple times, going, oh, I can hit a bullseye. Like you're doing some serious training with your firearm. So to think that, an accident couldn't happen when you're going to reholster in a high stress situation, just because you might practice it 100 times a week, or who knows how much, and you're comfortable, doesn't mean you're eliminating that risk. And I don't fault anybody for how they want to carry. Carry how you are comfortable and how you want. Just for my own self, I carry in manners that I find will mitigate as much risk as possible. Because, well, I don't want to shoot my junk off. And that would be a heck of a way to go. You defend yourself in a firefight, you live to tell the tale, but then when you go to reholster, because those fine motor skills have been compromised, you shoot yourself in the femoral artery, for example.
So one thing with that, and you bring up an excellent point. One thing with that is look your gun back in the holster. And I know a lot of people out there go, you don't have to, this, that, the other. Yeah, you don't have to. But when you get into a high stress situation, you're better off looking that back in the holster. And we can take the Trump shooting as an example. Go look at the Secret Service people, or supposed Secret Service people. They didn't know what the hell they were doing. They didn't know where the holster was. They didn't know what to do with anything. They were lost left, right, and center. So it's not a hard thing to do. Just take that extra second and look it back in the holster. And,
yeah.
And pay attention to your surroundings. I preach this constantly. That's one of the biggest things that people fail to do is pay attention to your surroundings. Everything that's going on around you constantly. It doesn't matter if you're at work and you think you're comfortable, just because you know the people that are there, doesn't mean you're okay. You literally got to pay attention to everything going on. Don't ever let your guard down.
Yeah. Well, I agree. And I know actually a friend of mine, he went to school with my little brother. And anyway, he was he joined the county police department, and he was in, in the force for, I don't know, a good 3 years at least, if not longer. Good night, Hasbro. And anyway, one day he carried, because he said, because a lot of stuff that he carried on his gun belt, his holster was a little farther back, on his side, and just kind of make room for other stuff he was carrying more than what he really liked. And he said that was probably my problem to start out with, is, I was trying to fit everything else that I had to carry, and, but he went to holster his gun one night, and he swears he didn't have his finger on the trigger. And anyway, as he was holstering it, went off and shot himself through part of the butt. And, and after that, he's like, I always thought I was safe as can be, and that happened. And he just wouldn't, after that, he would not carry without safety. And, so I know there's like different stories. It don't happen very much, but there are, people out there that would rather have one. And so that's what I was wondering, if there would ever be anything that, I don't know if they do it on the lower or what, or the slide, but to where, there would be some type of a safety that would go on, a Glock or Glock clone. And, and I understand, like barbecue said a while ago, so, well, if you change anything and it's not a Glock, clone, Glock or Glock clone, but that's really not true, because they do change, the thickness of the handles, on the lower side and stuff like that. Slide cuts, skeletonization and the slides, that Glock does not come out with, and those still fit, and work. And so I was just curious about that, and I thought it'd be something.
Well, I'd like to jump in here for a second. Just for the fact that I was a diehard 1911 guy. I carried a 1911 for like 25 years. And then I just switched to a Glock 19 simplicity of I don't have to drop the safety. The safety's pretty much in the trigger, plus my finger, plus the bar in there. And so you kind of have to think to yourself too. So I switched because capacity. I wanted some more capacity. With the right ammo, 9mm better than a lot of the 45.
Millimeter?
Yeah. Hate to say it, but it just is better than a lot of the 45. Not all the 45. There's some potent rounds out there, but so you kind of have to think to yourself, why did I change? And then to go along with your question you're asking, if you take the simplicity away from the Glock and you add a safety to it, wouldn't there be other guns that would be better for the same situation? Because let's just say, for example, the government comes out and says every handgun has to have a safety on it. So now you've changed the game. A manual safety on it, let's say, instead of just the little bobble that's in the trigger and then other few safeties that are built into a Glock. So would you still pick a Glock with a safety on the side of it that you have to manually do, or would you just totally ditch it and go for a different gun? Because see, me personally, as a person who's owned I own a G43. That's my most recent. I don't own an X or a 48 or any of the newer, like the 47, the 49, all the newer stuff. And then I've never owned a 45 Gap, but I've owned pretty much every Glock in the past that's been made. So I kind of consider myself a Glock guy. But if you put a manual safety on that gun, I wouldn't be a Glock guy anymore. I'd pick a different gun.
So I look at it kind of like this, and you can tell me I'm wrong if you want to, but I kind of look at it like this. When people talk about having an external safety versus an internal safety, I look at it on the aspect of, do you carry one in the chamber or do you not carry one in the chamber? Because a lot of people are scared to carry one in the chamber. Now, there are issues with not doing so. And there are aspects that actually are beneficial to a certain degree where you don't carry one in the chamber. Now, I'm going to tell you all day long, carry one in the chamber. And the reason I'm going to tell you that is because the amount of time it's going to take you to draw that weapon, rack that slide, and get one in the chamber. And if you have a safety on top of that, get that safety off, you're going to have a lot of problems.
Yeah. And I'll kind of top it off with this. I'll kind of catapult off of Scotsman right there. Now, when I went for my CCW back when we had to have the permit, now we don't. That's all gone here in the state of Nebraska. My wife was like, "Okay, if you're going to do that, you have to have a gun with safety." And that was one of her prerequisites to me having a CCW, one beside the bed, whatever, what have you. Now, that's different from in the house versus the way I carry with that gun. It does have a manual safety. It's a Smith & Wesson the little body. Goddamn, I can't remember the name of it right now.
The Shield.
M&P?
Yeah, Shield. Yes.
Shield.
Thank you, DJ.
Safety.
Yeah, and you could get them with the safety, without the safety, with the optics cut, without the optics cut. They had a lot of different variations on that one, which was great. So you could order it to however you wanted it. But she said I had to have the safety, and I said, okay, so I can have it in the house. I got one with the safety. When it's in the house, it does not have one in the pipe. you know, because I've got little kids and stuff running around. I'm always afraid, you know, of something happening, even though they can't rack the slide on it yet. Nobody, because I've had them try. So, and they've grown up around guns. They've grown up around guns their whole entire life. So they know what to touch and what they can't. So I'm just making this clear to YouTube. So anyway, but when I go outside, the safety is always off, one in the pipe, and I'm carrying appendix. Now, the main reason that I carry appendix is because I'm kind of built like Scotsman, where I'm a skinnier guy, I'm 6'1", and I print like a SOB. It's really easy to see the gun on me unless I've got it clocked in a certain position on me, and that's the reason I carry like that. But it's getting back to the safety part. I want as few steps getting to that gun and ready to go. I want it just like a Glock. I want to be able to pull that. I want to be able to pull that hog leg, and I want to be able to just go.
That's the biggest factor. Is you want as little steps as possible to get done, because when you get into that situation, you ain't got time to think about it.
Exactly, and
So,
you know,
riddle me this.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Because I hear that all the time. You get in that situation, you know, split seconds, life or death. How often do those life and death situations occur where somebody has to drop on you? You gotta draw and get a shot off in, you know, 3/4 of a second. Very rarely ever. The vast majority of self-defenses with a firearm never involve a shot being fired. And then you go into the averages, which I realize it's an average of 3 to 4 shots. Now, does that mean that every situation is 3 to 4 shots? No. Some of those could involve 15, and there could be a whole lot that involve 1, you know, and then obviously we just end up between 3 and 4. So it kind of, when you're talking about the difference between appendix to 3 o'clock, it's, I believe, what, 1/10 of a second it might save you, if I remember correctly. I could be wrong. It might be, you know, maybe 2/10 of a second.
It's a little more than that it saves. But here's the thing. So I carry both ways. I carry roughly about 330, and I carry appendix as well. And I can shoot both pretty dang fast without any issues. But the thing of it is, and this is where people tend to fail, is I actually go out and practice. People don't go and practice. You have to get out there and you have to do it. You got to be out there. And it doesn't necessarily mean I got to walk out in my backyard and go shoot every single day. It just means I got to take that gun and draw it out of my holster and get myself a sight picture constantly, back and forth, and do that and get that rhythm down and understand that rhythm. And that's where a lot of people fail. They don't do the practice. They don't get the work in.
Yeah.
And what I was honing in on, though, is just what Pat said, you know, fastest. And it's not even anything like with Pat or anything, or it's just so many times I hear people say, oh, you know, that split second is life or death.
Yep.
And my point is, those split second life and death situations are so ultra rare that even if you ever encounter a point where you have to use your firearm in self-defense, whether it's just pulling it and never having to fire a shot, or pulling it and mag dumping, the odds at that situation is, because if you think about it, the vast majority, again, never involve a shot. So then you add in a scenario where you have to fire more than 1 shot. Then you add in the scenario where you get up to the average, and you add into the scenario where maybe you mag dump. And my point is, every time you add in a little bit of extra, that the odds go down, down, down. And when you're talking about the odds, when you're adding in, oh, if I did not draw this in 0.25 seconds faster, or if I would have drawn it in 0.25 seconds slower, I'd have been dead. The odds of getting to that scenario, they're very rare. And I'm not saying, don't plan for it. Again, carry however you want, whoever's listening, whatever. I don't like to tell people how to carry or what to carry or whether they should carry. Stuff like that annoys me. I just like to throw out there, like, hey, look at the odds of what you're doing, and then look at what the risk factors are.
Well, on the flip side of what you're saying, bear in mind when you draw your weapon, if you draw your weapon, you're not liable because you drew your weapon.
Yeah, that's what I always tell people.
There's all kinds of things that will come into play because you drew your weapon. So just bear that in mind too.
And that's why I open carry.
Yeah. And
because it's a visual deterrent.
Go ahead, DJ.
I tell people that all the time. I open carry because hopefully by me open carrying, if there's somebody at the Dollar General or wherever the heck I happen to be that wants to do something nefarious, they're going to wait until I leave to at least carry out their act. Therefore, ideally, I never have to draw my firearm, and whether I fire a shot or not, I am never permanently altering my own life and my family's life because I wanted a supposed tactical advantage.
Well, there's an advantage to that, and there's also a disadvantage. I'm a big open carry guy. I've open carried for many years, and I've been in a lot of different situations over the years. I've been in situations where I've had to draw my weapon, and I will tell you that even though you're open carrying, it doesn't always mean it's going to deter that person.
Never said it did. I said I hope.
I know.
Right.
I know what you said. I'm explaining the point.
Gotcha.
We all hope that will deter the fact of what potentially could happen. And you have better odds if you are showing that you are willing to do what you need to do in that situation. Now, does it mean it's going to stop it? No, it's not going to stop it. Again, I've had situations where I've had to draw my weapon. No one ever wants to be in that situation. I've never, ever wanted to be in that situation, but I've had to draw my weapon more than once.
So if I may ask,
my weapon, no, I've got to the point where drawing my weapon was enough to deter the threat and get the threat done.
If I may ask, Scotsman, those situations, were they professional or personal?
They were professional. They were professional.
Because I mean, that's a whole different animal in itself too. Having worked armed security and everything, there was one situation where I began to draw. I've told this story before on my channel a few times. If you want to hear it, we can tell it in the after chat. But because that's one thing I've heard from people too in the past is like, oh, I've been in these situations before. And when you're in a professional environment where you had to do it, if you're working armed security or police officer, things like that, you're being put into situations where it's more likely. And then I've heard people actually make the argument to me that, oh no, in personal settings. And I'm like, what the frick are you doing with your life where you've had to draw your firearm in self-defense multiple times? Like, stop going to the places you're going to, stop hanging out with the people. Like, you should not encounter these situations multiple times in your personal life.
Okay, so
where you live too, probably.
Let me clarify something real fast. So when I'm talking in a professional situation, I'm talking. I'm the guy running the range, and this is happening in the range itself, where I have to actually draw my weapon to deter something going on in the range. So,
but that's why you're an RSO, to watch for things like that, which still puts you at a higher risk of having to do something like that.
it's a little different from the security aspect of what you're talking about.
But still, because you're the person responsible of that range and what could or anything else that happens at it, you're still being put at a higher risk factor of having to do something like that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I've literally had people. So I had people walk in. So here's a perfect prime example. So one day, we had two guys walk in, and they had both their guns just on their shoulders. And I tried to stop them, and I explained to them, look, hey guys, they got to be in a case. Can't have you in here without them in a case. And the older gentleman decided he wanted to go at me with it and started mouthing off at me about it. And like, no, this is policy. This is what it has to be. You have to have a case. Take it back outside. Put it in the case. Well, he decided he wanted to be the jackass and swing that weapon around. Well, as he swung that weapon around, guess what I had to do? I draw my weapon. And it's like, it's not happening here today. And immediately that situation ended. He understood within seconds. And it all comes down to training and being prepared and being understanding of what's going on around you. Have that situational awareness. Situational awareness is the number one thing that's going to save you. It's not how fast you can draw. It's not how many times you do this, do that, and so on and so forth. Situational awareness is the number one thing that's going to save your ass.
Agreed.
And that's why, again, going back to like appendix carry, and again, I'm not trying to dissuade anybody from it. Just sometimes I worry people don't take in account all the risk factors. And like you just said, situational awareness is key. Doesn't matter how fast you can draw, things like that. And when you look at the stats for negligent discharges when reholstering or something like that, a lot of them do happen, unfortunately, with appendix carry. And then when you consider that, and where that gun is aiming, a lot of times, whether it be your junk or femoral artery, that's a big deal, at least to me. And again, a lot of practice, looking your weapon back into the holster, leaning back a little bit. Like I totally understand the ways to mitigate that to where it's virtually not an issue. But unfortunately, in those high stress situations, I'm just saying for myself, not a risk I want to take. And I just like to vocalize those ideas to, put it out in the ethers. So people that don't think about stuff like that and maybe never even heard things like that go, oh, wait, is that quarter second worth that risk because I'm not practicing or I'm not doing this, or maybe I should do this more so I don't, shoot myself in the junk because I wanted to save a quarter second. That's all.
Well,
yeah, right.
Good topic, guys.
Yeah,
and
it's a really
we're
good
way
topic.
past due for the giveaway, and so we need to get this done. There's probably some folks on here that might want to go to bed. So, anyway, I'll give everybody just another few seconds here to get your hashtag in, Gizzard, and we'll do the giveaway. Like I said, with tonight we have the Skinny Black Knife and a $10 Chick-fil-A card. And first person wins gets to take their choice, and the second person gets what's left over. So anyway, make sure you get those hashtags in. And
I thought the leftovers were the gizzard. Sorry,
Exactly.
Play on words.
So
you can have all of that, Pat. All of that stuff.
Thanks, DJ.
Sure.
So DJ, we heard much from you. Would you like to count us down, buddy?
Absolutely. Spin it in 3, 2, 1, now.
All Round and round it goes.
Ting.
Justin Graham.
Right on.
All right, Justin.
All right, we're not
Rig.
giving Justin the button to stop the wheel anymore.
Rigged.
You know what I'm gonna do? Is there anybody in the side chat? You said a skinny black knife, right?
Yeah. Oh,
Is
yeah.
there-
We have skinny black knife or the $10 Chick-fil-A. If you want to pick the skinny black knife, yeah, you can. Or
give me
however you
two-
want to do it, it'll be fine.
Give me 2 seconds. Is there anybody in the side chat that's never won a skinny black knife?
I think Defense Dad might be one of them.
Yeah,
Whoever has not won a skinny black knife, post something in here.
Defense Dad, me. There's a bunch of people out there that hasn't won one yet.
Well, if you
There's
haven't
Alaska
won,
one Andy saying me.
give it to Alaska One Andy then.
There you go.
All right.
Quick draw.
And a bunch of them just came in. Yeah. Alaska.
So
one,
Alaska
was-
One, send. I'll let Hillbilly do it because he knows his stuff better than me. Send your info to him.
All right. I'm going to write you down, buddy.
Well deserved.
And Andy, email me at AmericanHillbillyUp@gmail.com. And actually, I'll just go ahead and put this up because the Gorn's coming up next, and there's my email. So, yeah, email me there, and I will get that sent out to you. I'll write this down here.
Got Vanessa
And
Kitty
then-
out there saying, I have never won a skinny version, but she does have the fat one. And Garage Guy 879 piped in with, I have the pleasantly plump black knife.
All righty.
I'll tell you what. I just won this one from GIZZ last week, and I already have 2. So why don't you hit that spin button again, and I will send this skinny black knife to somebody out there. Again, we'll do 2 skinny black knives.
All righty. Oh, shoot.
There it goes.
Okay, it goes.
There it goes.
I meant
Does
to
Justin
hit
get to
the
win
other
twice?
Watch me win again. Watch me
Is-
win again. I was just
Here comes
picking it.
twice.
button.
The bearded and tattooed guy.
All right, so let me
think-
say this. So
Well,
that
I think he
bearded
was going to
and
bed a
tattooed-
while ago. Let's see if he's still out there. But yeah, okay, now go ahead, Scotsman. If you're out there, bearded tattooed guy, say something.
Yep. You got to
Be
say
present.
something.
All right, Scotsman, go ahead.
I hope he's out there, guys. He just went through a major surgery, so if he's still out there, we're praying for you, brother, and we hope you're okay. He's sent me emails back and forth about I want to send you this, that, the other. I'm like, dude, take care of yourself first. Like, seriously, please take care of yourself. He's got way bigger issues than me, so.
Wow.
Please keep him in your prayers. If you're that
Definitely.
way, keep him in your prayers. He's got a lot of problems going on right now. So we're all here for you, brother. You need something, you just say the word.
You betcha. So I'm pretty sure earlier he said he was going to bed because I said goodnight to him. I don't think he's still out there. So everybody, you want to wait on just a little bit longer, or should we draw again?
Give him a second because I'm showing he's still out there.
Yeah,
Oh,
give
is
him another 30 seconds. Give him another 30.
Jamie isn't here with his timer going off. Keeping time for us.
Picked a bad time to go to pee.
You're right.
You're gonna feel real
Good one,
unlucky.
Justin.
Timer on. Hang on. Let me get the
I'm
timer.
here.
Hey, that was my luck on one of the Ron Wayne ones. I went to the kitchen to get like a cinnamon roll because everybody was talking about food. I was like, damn, I'm hungry. And I come back and ended up winning something. I'm like, I'm back.
Hang on. All right. Here we go. Blah, 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 blah. Come on. All right, I got 30 seconds on the timer. Go. Come on, man. Speak up.
Man, it took you 20 seconds to get that 30 seconds queued. You got 10 of them left. Now I talked through about 5 of them. 4, 3, 2.
I'm a
one.
slow
Spin it again.
All right. 10, 9, 8, 7.
Hang on just a second. I want to address something real quick. Mr. Bob said Thor's axe was the only one that said he didn't have one when everybody's chat it comes in different deals, and so what we're going off is the StreamYard chat. And if I made a mistake, let me make sure we didn't make a mistake. Okay, yeah, up here, Mr. Bob, it said Alaska One said me when he asked if anybody had not won one. And then the next one was Jacob S. And then the second one was Thor as axe. So yeah, Alaska Andy was ahead of him. I know sometimes when on the YouTube side stuff don't come in exactly the same. And that's why we don't do like the trivia, first one and answers, because like it never comes in correctly.
One of the things that people can do to help change that is a lot of times their chat is set to top chat. You used to be able to change it to live chat. Now I think it just says all chats, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Change it to that. And there's still been a couple times where there's discrepancies, but it's a lot more accurate to what we'd see over on StreamYard.
And often it'll resolve itself. I've had that happen to me. It took a minute for me to understand why mine was coming in second all the time. And if you go out, redo that refresh, then it does. It'll straighten it out and show you where you actually responded to. And the channel host is always the final say on that. And I haven't run into anybody on any giveaway that's tried to run anything really shisty. I mean, that whole rigged thing, that's just in good fun. So.
I mean, just except for regularly tonight.
No, unless you're on Facebook, because it seems like the Facebook cheaters always win. I would call them Facebook cheaters.
I feel like Justin's taking shots at me now. My gosh, I'm gonna start appendix carrying so I can draw faster.
Last one in, first one to win.
All right, Scotsman, you want to count that down again?
Are we doing it again? Okay. We
I just
we can do it again. 3, 2, 1, send it.
So this is for the one that Pat in the bunker is going to send.
This is the one I'm giving away. If you have not won one.
Yes. Yes. Okay. Now I win it. But based on what Mr. Bob was saying and what we just talked about, if Thor's axe does not have one, and he can confirm that, and he's out there, Pat, you can send it to Thor's axe because I already have one.
All righty. Well, Thor's axe.
You're not a loser no more, Thor's axe.
Yep. Anyway, get your info to Hillbilly. He'll give it to me, and I will get this beautiful black skinny knife out to you, brother. So you probably already have his info, I'm guessing.
He'll need to email me at AmericanHillbillyUp@gmail.com because I get so many addresses and everything. I just can't save them all, and so
if not, he can email me and I'll pass it on to you, Pat.
Okay, yeah.
And I tell you what, unless Thor's actually responds, that comment that he has out there, that quote of Beck lyrics, that's before. So he's got to come back in. He's got to say something that follows after Jacob S.'s comment.
Oh, that's right.
Or he goes again. Yeah. So come on, Thor's axe.
Proof of life, Thor's axe. Proof of life.
But did Thor really put "I'm a loser, baby"?
I need a newspaper And your face beside it. Oh, what? With the date.
There he is. He
Oh,
says,
there he
"Okay, dude, good deal. Right on. Congrats, Thorax."
Awesome.
Awesome.
Awesome, man.
So-
yeah, and again, you can email me, Dave, if you want to, and I'll pass on the info, however you want to do it.
Or his accent's now
All
pretty
right,
fly for a
Dave.
white guy.
Nice. All right. Well, we'll have a knife coming your way, hopefully in the next week.
That's awesome.
All
man.
right. So what we have left is the $10 in honor of GIZZ Gary, a $10 Chick-fil-A gift card, and that will come to you through email. So we'll draw that and see who the winner of that is. This baby a spin.
Chicken, chicken, chicken.
Winner,
If I
winner,
win again-
chicken
if I win again-
dinner.
Justin, can I trade it for? Oh, I didn't win. I was gonna say, can I trade it for bacon? Hasbro's the winner, though.
I think
Yeah,
Hasbro left.
Hasbro's
said
gone.
goodnight earlier too.
No
Yep.
chicken dinner.
So I'm pretty sure Hasbro left quite a while ago, and
Yeah, he did.
Hasbro, if you're out there, let me know. But I'm almost positive.
Yeah, he checked out quite a while ago.
Now, some people have missed out maybe because they went to go to the bathroom. Maybe he's going to win because he's getting up to go to the bathroom. We don't know. Did you set that timer there, Scotsman? That minute and a half timer? It takes 2 minutes to set.
Oh, gee. You didn't say I had to. Damn it. Come on,
And I would-
man.
And I would just like to throw out for the knife winners that nobody's responsible for the sharpness of the knives because they're very sharp. You are going to cut yourself. Get over it.
Well,
Hasbro was a half an hour ago.
yeah, I want to say
so-
something to Abby real quick. Abby, it wasn't a knife. You had won the pistol mat, and I sent it to the other address that you'd sent me. So have you not got it yet? I know Amazon, like sometimes people get it the next day or within 2 days, and sometimes it'll take like a week or two, or I mean, a week or so. I don't know, but it showed it shipped, but I did have trouble when actually DJ, it was you. I went to order his and it wouldn't ship. And so I don't know if you don't get that, Abby, let me know. Okay, yeah, if you won the knife, then yeah. But recently, your last win was a pistol mat, Abby, and that's where I sent it to your new or the address you're at. And so, oh, okay, she got the mat. Okay, awesome. Sorry about that. So let's go ahead and spin again.
I got the timer pulled up this time.
Nice.
Jacob S.
DJ's all over.
Jacob
me, man.
S.
All right, Jacob, you got 30 seconds. Your time starts now.
So while that clock's ticking,
Oh,
I'd like to
he
throw
was just
a-
out there. Come on, Jacob.
There he is.
There he
already.
is.
There he is.
There he is.
I wasn't
Awesome.
taking any chances.
Quick draw McGraw.
There you go, buddy. Awesome. Good job, man.
Yeah, Jacob, email me at AmericanHillbillyUp@gmail.com and give me your address and put in there $10 Chick-fil-A card. And I seen up here a while ago, you said something about, let's see, where was it? You didn't get a package. Oh, I think that wasn't something you won. I was just going to send you. You said something about you wanted a sticker pack or something like that. I did mail those out, so let me know if you have not don't get that within the next few days. But I did mail that out to you. So anyway, awesome. Guys, we'll wrap this thing up with some Gorn, and let me see what we got in here so far.
Hillbilly, you care if I give a chat hack while you're pulling that up?
Yeah, you bet. Go ahead.
So here's a chat hack for the pros out there. If you're going to go to bed, leave the chat open on your phone while it's charging. And, you might have just dozed off in the last 30 minutes or something like Hasbro, but you may not have entered a deep sleep yet. So when we start saying Hasbro, 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 you could stir and still pop up and win your stuff and then just go right back to sleep.
Right.
Or have to spring out of bed, grab the gun from the nightstand, and sweep and clear the house. Just kidding.
Hasbro's on the news.
Nice,
What's the matter,
DJ.
bud? Why so glum? Shut my cat.
Oh,
How'd you do that? Oh, wow.
Somebody
The
said
only
my
thing-
name. And I shot my cat.
So the only thing we got in so far is from Boomstick, and he said he was driving across Kansas and seen this. I wouldn't doubt that. What, a spaceship on wheels, I guess. Looks like he's going down the highway. Or
Did you ask them why they don't talk to us?
So
I just sent 2 Hillbilly.
all right, buddy. Oh boy, this is a good one here. From Justin Grimm, he sent in this, and whoops. Sorry, I'm not as fast as Gizzard is on these things. He says, someone's grandma now. Very true.
So is that a gilf?
Check
That's
out
a
the
gift. That's a gift right there.
You know, everybody does pictures of the cars. It's like, shit, that's someone's grandma now.
Yep.
There's a
She would
Camaro
look
back there with
70% of
teeth
that.
out.
It would be a gilf.
Right?
I was remarking on that in a movie the other night. There's from the 60s. There's this chick who's go dancing pretty provocatively, and it did occur to me in that moment. That's somebody's
So-
grandma or great grandma. Like, I think somebody's great grandma is hot.
Hillbilly, can you pull that picture back up?
Dating
Yeah,
material.
that's
Mr.
No. I have a serious
on Rumble.
I have a serious question. And side chat, you jump in too. What year is that car?
Which
We
one?
see
The
it.
one behind that or the GTX?
The GTX.
Well,
71.
71. That's what I was gonna. Yeah. Yep.
I'm not sure though.
it's hard.
I
I
think
can't
it's
tell.
71.
I would guess late 60s, but just by looking at the fenders, but because a lot of them, Chevelles and all that had that style fender rear quarter panel. But I do know in the Camaro it's got a wraparound back glass, and so that'd have to be a 76 or newer.
So
So we
I'm
know
gonna say this.
Definitely older than 76.
I'm not super big on older cars, but I do have some knowledge on them. Look at the lines. The lines are going to tell you the era it's in. I'm not going to be able to tell you the exact year, but I can tell you the era it's in. So look at the lines.
Her lines or the car lines?
The car lines. I mean, she's got nice lines too.
Well, she's got nice curves. I don't know about lines, but she's got curves.
Know what year it is, so I'm not going to say.
I am. I know it says, is that Uniroyal tires?
Yep, those are Uniroyal Tiger Paws on mag wheels, and with the line in there. I know the Buick kind of copied the GTO kind of back in those years with that slanted back glass, kind of like what like the Chargers and everything did with that slant back like that. I'm guessing it's got to be a 70 or 71.
So I'm going to tell you, it's not 70s.
Nope.
That's a late 60s.
He was close. Guess. You were really close, Pat.
It's a late 60s. It's either between 67 and 69.
Ozzy says 68. My guess was late 60s. But
and the reason you can tell that is the lines. If you look at the design on the rear quarter, panel, the way they did those back then, that didn't appear in the 70s. That was all in the 60s.
Mm-hmm.
Well, regardless, good looking car, good looking woman.
Oh yeah.
They both had curves and both had lines.
Ain't no argument there.
Hey, we're all guys.
Well,
I figured it'd be fun to ask and see what people thought, you know.
Yeah, I think, yeah. And that's it just, I was kind of basing it off of the Chevelles and stuff. And that's what I was thinking, you know, late 60s. But
So,
Mr. Bob, he sent one and he says, this is what's for dinner.
So when they transferred into the 70s era, you'll see the lines are a lot thinner. So that's how you can tell 70s versus 60s. The lines really dissipated. They wanted to try and clean them up some more. So the lines kind of went away as far as how thick they were.
Mm-hmm.
So that one's pretty clear. It's the 60s based off of how thick that line is. And it's the late 60s because you can just tell with everything else going on in that picture.
Yeah. Say hi to M. Gabriel out there. And Garage Guy said, would it be a Roadrunner? And Mr. Bob says, that's a filet mignon. What's for dinner?
You know, with Mr. Bob's pick, it makes you wonder if there's actual crying children around that table looking at the
M. Gabriel, something rear quarter. Oh yeah, she's got a rear quarter, all right.
Exactly. Oh man. So that's late 60s. That girl is, you know, let's say 20. So what age does that put her?
Yeah.
70. Too old.
Well, you know what's crazy is I saw a picture, I think it was on TikTok the other day, and it was the DJ will probably know. I can't think of her name, but the lady that sings the "Hey Mickey, You're So Fine."
Oh, Tony Basil.
So back in the 80s, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, as a really young person in the 80s, I failed to remember that she was actually a little bit older when she was singing that song. But on the TikTok, it was Tony Basil's 80. She's 80 now. But it just seems like the other day she was just a young little peppy cheerleader singing that song, you know.
Mm.
But you know that it just takes me back to Wayne's World when you say that, man.
Definitely.
But yeah, she's
If you're
80
gonna-
years old now.
And you know, on this chat, the only thing I can say on this chat when it comes to stuff like that is, and we're not on Saturday night, which kind of sucks because it'd be more perfect for that. But Hillbilly's here, and if you're gonna hurl into this. Because trust me, folks, don't ever, ever, ever drink a freaking hard seltzer.
Yeah.
Because if you are gonna hurl, you're gonna hurl.
God, don't remind me. You're bringing up bad memories. Damn it.
Well, you guys chose those big cans, man. What the heck were you thinking?
Oh man.
Well, hang on, Pat. I got a bone to pick with you because you're the one that instigated a lot of this. You're the one that made a lot of this happen. So you need to keep your mouth shut.
Well, yeah, but sometimes I can't help it. I just I have to antagonize to get the rest of the group to keep going. So if I have to shoot my mouth off to get things rolling, I will do that. I will sacrifice.
Well, then you had Bubba's drink that looked like something I stepped in hunting like half of my life. You know, it's like, and then when he was done with that, he chased it with a whole nother can. It's like, wow, you're next level.
God.
I almost threw up just watching the color of that Bubba drink. Oh man.
What do you call it?
Like
pond water?
Baby Rhea.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you.
That's what it looked like to me.
Thank you, DJ. That's what I was thinking. Oh,
I mean, I told Hillbilly on the Georgia chat, I wasn't right till late Monday, man. Like seriously, that freaking thing sat and caused me all kinds of problems for a day and a half.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, I got up the next morning. You don't want to know what happened to the toilet. And after that, yeah, about Monday afternoon, I was feeling pretty good.
It was 0500 Monday morning that I started to feel somewhat normal, not 100%, but somewhat normal. And then late Monday afternoon, you don't want to know what happened in the bathroom, but basically it wasn't pretty. And then I felt normal again.
Here comes the boom.
Pretty much.
I think Kim Gabriel's asking there what like car manufacturer or car was late on changing that body style that they didn't change it over in 71. I think that's what his question might be.
So when they went,
know.
In the 70s, M. Gabriel, in the 70s, they went ahead and they started changing the lines. They made them a lot thinner. Back in the 50s and 60s, they were going for these nice thick lines to really accentuate the body.
The angle
of what they were going for. And then in the 70s, and I don't know exactly what time frame in the 70s they changed it. I don't remember off the top of my head. But it was sometime in the 70s that they went ahead and changed that, and they made it a lot thinner. So it wasn't as popping. Would be the best word.
I know with just the cars that I used to race, and when I went between the different cars, I raced a 76 and then a 77. Then we dropped down all the way down to a 71 Caprice Classic, and it was the what was it? It had the vented hood and everything on it. The 71 didn't look anything like the 76 because it had the tinny bumpers on it and it was sharper lines. It wasn't as smooth and rapid. What the hell is it? Oh, it was an Aero. It wasn't the Aero Coupe. It was the they didn't come out without till the 80s. It was like an Aerodyne 70 Caprice Classic, and had the sharper lines up on the top of the rear quarters going all the way to the front and everything. And then they were definitely different between their going into the mid 70s for sure.
It's huge, man, and you'll see it. It's not hard to tell. Like seriously, you go to any car show and you walk around, you'll see it. And I'm a big fan of old school muscle cars. I haven't done any videos on any of that stuff, but I love old school muscle cars, man. I freaking love them.
Boy,
you give me a big block 454, oh hell yeah, I'm all
Oh, you're speaking my language, brother. Me and hillbillies both.
I'm all over that, man. I'm drooling like a freaking squirrel girl.
Years and years ago, my uncle had I think it was a Cheyenne ramp truck, and it just had a 350 in it. Nothing special, and he let a buddy borrow it, and he gets home, truck's back where it normally goes, all that fun jazz, and like a week later he goes out to start it and it's doing like nothing. He's like, what the crap? So he pulls a dipstick, chocolate milk. He's like, you got to be kidding me. And working on derby cars for 20 plus years at that point, he swore by the small block 350. He said best engine ever, best derby motor you can get, whole 9 yards. He loved them. So tearing one of these down and rebuilding it, he thought it's just head gasket or something, I guess. And he gets into it. One of the pistons is shattered, and through the block, there's just a giant hole in the cylinder. Actually, I think a couple of the pistons were shattered. They're just rubble at the bottom of the engine when he pulls off the oil pan. I mean, motor's just destroyed. So he calls his buddy up. He's like, how did this get home? He's like, I don't know what you're talking about. It ran perfect when I dropped it off. He's like, baloney. And the reason I tell you this story, though, is because that guy didn't give away anything for free. And magically, he's like, here, I got a motor you can have. It's a 454, okay? So I'm out at my uncle's the day that he's tearing it down to, rebuild everything, new gaskets, whole 9 yards. And he turns it over on the engine stand, and he just starts screaming his pants. That's like, what the hell is your issue? He's like, it's a 4-bolt main. I was like, oh, shit.
Oh. Damn it.
That thing was amazing.
You get a nice 454, man. There's nothing like it, man. You hear that freaking sucker roar, and you just sit there and you go, "Oh my god!"
Yeah.
No, I'll tell a quick story, and Hillbilly knows what I'm talking about. Back when I used to race, we ran small blocks for the first couple years. Then after that, we in that very same one, that 70 Caprice, we stripped that thing down. We blocked it up and everything. We had a 454 with a high rise. It had to be stock, high-rise intake off of a Corvette 454, off of a 427 onto a 454 with the oval port heads on it with the high compression head. I can't remember the number right off the top of my head, but anyway, we were pumping about 12.5 to 13 to 1 into that big block onto that thing. And that thing, they had a cheaters night at the very end. Once we got done with our points and everything, the points championship, and we'd won that year. And they said, you can do anything to your engine, whatever, doesn't matter. So we put late model tires on the damn thing. We put zoomies off of a demo car coming straight out the hood. We took the hood clear off, and we put zoomies off of a demo car off of a big block. And we went out there, and we were running about the exact same times as the modifieds back in 98, 99. We were smoking. It was a black. That thing was roaring. We just about put a half a lap on the rest of the guys behind us. That thing was screaming.
A big block 454 will knock the socks off of anybody if you tune it right.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. Well, the thing about those big blocks is you got so much torque there, and you don't have to turn the piss out RPMs out of them.
Mm-hmm.
And if you want gas mileage, all you gotta do is gear it right, and you're gonna be cruising along 1,500 to 2,000 RPM with all the horsepower you want and getting great gas mileage too. But we also had some more come in here. This is from Ron 2A Matters. He says this is a 79-pound flathead catfish. Dang.
Wow.
What's a big fish right there?
I'm jealous.
That is nice.
The biggest flathead I ever caught was only 23 pounds.
Yeah.
That sucker's freaking huge.
That's a dinosaur.
It is.
Yeah.
And
Exactly. Good words. Dinosaur.
we also had some more come in here. This one is this is from Boomstick, and he said he also seen this, and he's gonna have to get a bigger gun on his trip. The spaceship and a dinosaur. You seen all that in Kansas, brother? Dang.
4570.
Yep. Dinosaur rated.
You're gonna have to make another channel, and you're gonna have to get something bigger, man.
And then we also had Mr. Bob sent this in. He says to answer an age-old question, the correct answer is always yes. As a bear, we'll leave it at there. Oh my goodness.
Possible.
I didn't see a rabbit back there though.
That's what I was just thinking.
Right.
You know what? Maybe you already used it. Oh no,
Possibility.
It doesn't stick to the rabbit's fur. That's why you use the rabbit.
And we also just had something come in from Pat in the bunker, and we get this pulled up, and he says this is his. I don't know how in the hell Gary pulls these stuff up so fast one after another. Anyway, he says this is his new range. Nice. Got some objects to shoot behind. Heck yeah.
Yeah, that's the new one. They're about ready to shut down the old range that we were shooting at. So we're making a new one. beside my house. We're cutting down trees and mowing grass. Unfortunately, because the old range worked really good, but so I guess we're gonna start doing it beside the bunker out there.
Yeah, I don't know what these come off of.
Yeah, I figured you probably would.
Got many of them sitting around myself.
Probably more than what I need around, but they work.
I feel like they probably say Hoosier.
You would be exactly 100% right.
Oh yeah.
See that, folks? I'm telling you, I predicted we were going to see a dinosaur, and boom, we saw a dinosaur. That next shot, I know they say Hoosier. Send me $100, and I will tell you the winning lottery numbers.
Okay.
All right, fellas. I'm gonna jump off. Good seeing everybody. Appreciate being here. And guys, we'll have some videos here soon. Thank you to everyone who has been jumping in and helping me. I cannot thank you enough. I really can't. I got no words. Thank you just doesn't cover it. So I appreciate each and every one of you guys. If you've been out there and you've been helping, really do. Thank you. And I got to jump off, but you all stay safe, stay vigilant, and protect what matters. Protect yourself, protect your family, and protect everyone out there.
Well, thanks so much for jumping on tonight, Scotsman. And I want to say one thing before you go. You guys keep Scotsman in your prayers. He's still got a road ahead of him, and there is going to be a round 2 of the donation of a giveaway. If you weren't on Georgia's Shooting Connection, Jamie had talked about a little bit, but there was some more stuff donated right at the end, a few things, and I'll tell you this one thing. I can't really say much here on YouTube because we'll get out a video on Rumble here next week or sometime, and this is going to be like round 2, and it does have a lever on it, and we can't show it on here, and it is still brand new in the box, and then there's I think another item or 2, and so
you're not gonna want to miss this.
No, and we are not drinking hard seltzers for this.
Thank God.
Get out there right now. Or at least I'm not drinking hard seltzers for this.
Absolutely not.
No.
I've made a sworn promise to Jamie that never, ever, 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 ever again. Period. Not happening. I don't care what you need. It's not happening, folks. I'm sorry, but no. My stomach just can't do it anymore.
I don't blame you.
My stomach went through hell for 2.5 days. I'm done. But I miss this. If you paid attention to some of the earlier videos, our good friend Edward Petty came out this past year, started making videos, and Edward is the one who kind of put this in motion, and the person who won this from Edward then put this in motion. So guys, you're not going to want to miss this. And I'm not just saying that because I want you guys to send money, dude. I've never asked for this. I've never wanted this. I'm blessed by every single one of you guys. I really am. I never ever wanted to be in a position where I thought I would have to be in need, and at this point in time, I'm looking like I'm probably going to be in that point, and it's not something I ever wanted to have to.
Yeah. And we're just, I mean, honestly, Betty, as much as you've done for this community, we're glad that, you know, we can give back to you. And, you know, I've said this time after time during this giveaway, you know, and this is for everybody out there. When you do stuff and do it without expecting anything in return, that's sowing some seeds. And at some point in your life, those seeds are going to turn into fruit, and you know, and come back to you. And so, you know, Scotsman, I just want to say, you know, I really, you know, believe that's, you know, I mean, not that, you know, you're in the situation you are, but because of what you've done in the past, you did it without wanting anything in return. You didn't ask for this or nothing, but I'm just so glad that we can, you know, send a few of those fruits back your way, brother. So,
And you know, you say sowing the fruits and this, that, and so on. And, you know, guys, when I got on here, I never intended my channel to be doing any of this kind of stuff. And I honestly don't even know how it all happened. I really don't. I just happened to be watching C-Max one day, and C-Max turned around and said, "Dude, I'm sick. This is what's going on." And I said, "Fuck it. We got to help." And that's just kind of how it went. And I never, ever expected anything in return, and never, ever wanted anything in return. And for you guys to step up to the plate and jump in and just, I'm still pissed at Hillbilly. I'm so freaking pissed at him. I really am. But
you get over it.
Right. Be pissed. You're fine.
I am thankful beyond belief. I mean, I am. You guys will never understand how thankful I am. Like, seriously,
Doesn't matter. We're just helping out.
You've taken a burden off of what's going on, and you know, I don't know where this is gonna go. It's looking like surgery, looking like I'm gonna be out of work for a while, and it's looking like I'm probably not gonna make what I make every week for quite some time. So you literally are taking a burden off and helping me be in a better spot, in a better position, because I'm going to have to call companies. I'm going to have to make some phone calls here and there and say, hey, you know, this is where I'm at, and, you know, I can't pay this, I can't pay that, or whatever. And that's just where it's at, you know. And it sucks, but I'm so blessed to have all you guys out there being a part of this and helping out, and you know, I really am just so thankful. Again, I never ever expected anything in return for anything I've done. Like, I never did. Like, all the stuff I did, I can't even tell you why I did it. Jamie's going to be the one that will tell you why I did it. I can't tell you why I did it. But
Jamie, good heart, brother. That's why.
Jamie will tell you all day long why I did it. But I can never explain it. But I'm just blessed by all you. I really am, and I'm so blessed to have this family. And I'm blessed to just say I am an American, and it's amazing to be here. It's amazing to be a part of this and this fantastic community. And when I say God bless America and God bless you all, like, I freaking mean it, folks. Seriously, I love y'all. Y'all are my family, and I love each and every damn one of you. And seriously, it's, America, man. Seriously.
You bet you, buddy.
People take for granted, and where I come
Hats off,
from,
buddy.
where I
Hats
come
off.
from, we fight for it every day, and we're still fighting here too. And it's just a little bit of a different fight, but we have more of an advantage here than we do back home. And I'm just blessed to be able to be here and be a part of the awesome fight that we have here. So thank you. Seriously, thank you.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Scotsman, for doing all that you do. And like I said, man, you're in our prayers, and hopefully, all this is going to help out. I know it's only going to help out a little bit, but just we do appreciate you very much, brother. And anyway, so before you take off here, Scotsman, we're going to shut this chat down anyhow. You got your Sunday show coming up, right, buddy?
Yep. So we got you tomorrow night, and I will try to be there. Should be able to be there. I don't have anything planned at this moment, so we'll see you guys on Guns, Beer, and Therapy. And then Sunday night, 7:00 Eastern, we have Foreign and Domestic. And I hope you guys will show up for that and be a part of that, and bring your questions and whatever else you got, and we'll just have some fun. You know how we do it. We keep it real. We don't mess around, and pretty much as long as you ain't talking shit on someone else to a point where it's causing issues, we don't care. You can say whatever the hell you want.
I'll be there this Sunday. I finally got a free Sunday, so I'll be there on Sunday.
Awesome.
We are literally the definition of free speech. You can say whatever the hell you want, as long as you ain't ripping into someone else to the point where you're causing problems.
Well, thank you so much, buddy, for being on here, guys. Go check out Crazy Scotsman. If you've not already, go there, show him some love, subscribe, and Sunday night, make sure you catch the show, Foreign and Domestic, and appreciate you so much for being here, buddy. And Barbecue, we'll jump over to you real quick here and we'll go across the panel. You got anything coming up, buddy?
Nothing that's really worth noting right this minute. Still trying to work on that Open Carry Chronicles series that I want to do. I can't find a way I want to film it in audio, although I did find a lavalier mic I want to get. That will definitely solve some of the audio issues, and then I just got to find a better way to film it. And then I got some projects up my sleeve, but we'll see when those materialize. Thanks for the invite.
Hey, you bet, buddy. Thank you for coming. Appreciate you being here. And Pat in the Bunker, what you got coming up?
Well, I've got the 460 Smith & Wesson video coming out here really soon. That's literally going to be a blast. And don't forget that this is Free Patch Friday on GIZZ website out there tonight. So don't forget to go over and go visit him and go order a patch and get a free patch. So yeah, over there on GWebs over there. So yeah, don't forget to go visit him too. And don't forget to go visit all these fine gentlemen on the panel. And I use the term loosely, but yeah,
I don't know who you're talking about.
Exactly. That's why I said use the term loosely. But anyway, yeah, no, that's what I got coming up. 460 go visit GWebs and all these fine gentlemen out here, and all the people out on the chat. Thanks for coming out tonight. This was it wasn't a hostile takeover. It was just a takeover. So if it was a hostile takeover, yeah, me and Hillbilly would rule the world, and it'd just be done.
Pink
Anyway,
in the brain, man. Pink in the brain. What are we gonna do tonight, brain?
we're going to just rule the world.
Try to take over the world.
Exactly. But anyway, thanks for having me on, Hillbilly. Thank y'all for having me on. Been a blast. Thanks for the takeover.
And Justin threw out the link for gun websites. Actually, gear websites is where you go to get the patches and free patch Friday. And I not one overlooked. We actually ran over most usually gun websites. He has a 2A weekly wrap up on Friday nights. And I don't know if he started it or if it's already over, but make sure you go check that out. We got kind of long here tonight. And so anyway, if he starts that up pretty soon or whatever, go over and check out gun websites. And anyway, Justin, what do you got coming up, buddy?
Well, I hope to have a video for Sunday. I'm going to try to finish it up tomorrow and get it put out on Sunday. I also want it to be known that the next GIZZ takeover, I expect GIZZs in the green room when I show up. They were kind of missing today.
Yeah.
But no, hope to get a video out, and thank you for putting this on. Gives us all something to do. Have a little fun, get together and talk amongst men and women.
You bet. Well, thank you so much for being here, Justin. Appreciate it. And guys, go over there and if you not check out Justin's channel, go over and check it out. Show him some love and subscribe. He's got some videos up and putting some more out there. So go there and show him some love. And as long as same as everybody else on this panel and in the side chat, there's a lot of great channels, guys. So go check them out. And DJ, what do you got coming up, buddy?
I got the roll call, the final roll call coming at you right now, Hillbilly. Tonight we were joined by Colt 1927, Ron 2A Matters. Mr. Bob Dobalina was out there. So was Alaska 1, Andy. Gun websites, Jacob S., Garage Guy 879, Guns and Water, the Fluffy 10mm Jeep Guy, Dale Pogue, Woods, the man from the Great Pacific Northwest, Boomstick Mark 5, Lead Mining 44, Ozzy Osbourne, Chad Kelly, Bubba Triclops Ballistics, Agorizer, Hasbro, Defense Dad, Thor's Axe, that bearded and tattooed guy, Vanessa Kitty, Abigail, Sorsha Finnegan, M. Gabriel, and that's your roll call. I was glad to be here on a Friday night. Kind of fun. Don't get to do these on Friday nights very often. So, Hillbilly, thank you for putting it together and having a great takeover show. Everybody be safe, have fun, carry your guns, and rock. I'm out.
Awesome. And Brooke, Great Start Shooting School. Is she having a show tomorrow night?
Yes, indeed.
Okay, awesome. Guys, make sure you go over there and check out Brooke's show. It starts 1 hour before Guns, Beer, and Therapy. And always great hearing DJs on there and always a lot of fun. It's called a Great Start Shooting School. And so go check that out. And okay, there's somebody else jumped in here. I don't know who that is, but welcome. Anyway, as we're finishing this up, I just want to thank everybody for being here tonight. You guys are awesome, and we hope Gizzard and the Hens are having a great time down there in Tennessee at the Goals, what do you call it, convention or show or whatever. And Anyway, imagine they are. And anyway, hopefully we'll see you guys tomorrow night on Guns, Beer, and Therapy, 9 o'clock Central, 10 o'clock Eastern. And I just want to leave you all with this. Remember, God, family, and country, and make somebody's day better, will you? And if the good Lord's willing, the creeks don't rise, we'll be seeing y'all again. Everybody say good night.